Hello students, welcome to AKS. Today we'll talk about the Indian Foreign Service. The Indian Foreign Service is the administrative diplomatic civil service under Group A and Group B of the Central Civil Services of the Executive Branch of the Government of India. It is one of the 24 services for which the civil service examination is conducted. The process to get through IAS, IPS, IFS and all other services is the same. The Ambassador, High Commissioner, Consul General, Permanent Representative of India to the UN and Foreign Secretary are some of the offices held by the members of this service. The Indian Forest Service plays a major role in how India's image is cast on the global stage. The administrative head of the service is the Foreign Secretary and the political head of the service is the External Affairs Minister. The service is entrusted to conduct diplomacy and manage foreign relations of India. The IFS is a body of diplomats serving in 162 diplomatic missions and international organizations around the world. In addition, they serve at the headquarters of the Ministry of External Affairs in Delhi and the Prime Minister's office. They also head the regional passport offices throughout the country and hold positions in the President's Secretariat and several ministries on deputation. Let's take a look at how the training goes on for the Indian Foreign Services. Upon getting selected to the IFS through civil service examination, the beginners undergo a multifaceted and expansive training program intended to give them a thorough basic training in diplomatic knowledge, diplomatic qualities, and diplomatic skills. The training commences for IFS and all other services at the Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Administration, Missouri for a period of 3 months. Thereafter, the probationers join the Foreign Service Institute in New Delhi and undergo training for 1 year in various fields that a career diplomat needs to familiarize himself or herself with. The course at the Foreign Service Institute involves lectures, attachments with various wings of the government as well as tours both within the country and abroad. The aim of this course is to educate the diplomat a strong sense of history, knowledge of diplomacy and international relations and a grasp of general economic and political principles. At the conclusion of the training program, the officer is assigned his or her compulsory foreign language known as CFL. After a short period of desk attachment in the Ministry of External Affairs, the officer is posted to an Indian mission abroad in a country where his CFL is the native language and is enrolled into a language course. The officer is expected to develop proficiency in his CFL and pass the required examination before he is confirmed in service. In total, it takes about 3 years to be confirmed in the IFS from the date a candidate joins the IFS as Foreign Service Probationer or Officer. Let's discuss about the career of an IFS officer. A Foreign Service officer begins his career abroad as a 3rd secretary and is promoted to 2nd secretary as soon as he is confirmed in the service. Subsequent promotions are to the levels of First Secretary, Counselor, Minister, Permanent Representative or Ambassador or High Commissioner. Officers can also be posted to the Indian consulates abroad where the hierarchy going upwards is Vice Consul, Consul and Consul General. The hierarchy at the Ministry of External Affairs includes 6 stages: Under Secretary, Deputy Secretary, Director, Joint Secretary, Additional Secretary and Secretary. The employment opportunities of IFS officers are in embassies, high commissions, consulates, permanent missions, multilateral organizations like the United Nations and Ministry of External Affairs. Functions of an IFS officer. As a career diplomat, the Foreign Service officer is required to project India's interests both at home and abroad on a wide variety of issues. These include bilateral political and economic cooperation, trade, investment promotion, cultural interaction, press and media liaison, as well as a whole host of multilateral issues. In recent years, the intake into the IFS has averaged between 8 to 15 persons annually. The present cadre strength of the service stands at approximately 600 officers manning around 162 Indian missions and posts abroad and the various posts in the ministry at home. The functions of an Indian diplomat may be summarized as representing India in its embassies, high commissions, consulates, permanent missions to multilateral organizations like the UN. Protecting India's national interests in the country of his or her posting. Promoting friendly relations with the receiving state as also its people including NRI PIOs. Reporting accurately on the developments in the country of posting which are likely to influence the formulation of India's policies. Negotiating agreements on various issues with the authorities of the receiving state. Extending consular facilities to foreigners and Indian nationals abroad. Here we have an interesting trivia. This here is a diplomatic passport. The diplomatic and official passports are issued to people holding diplomatic status or deputed by the Government of India for official duty abroad to manage negotiations and other affairs.